Whoa, Pete, nice lamp, man. So where's that crazy speaker you've been telling me about?
Google, play music on the Sonos.
Holy crap, it's a speaker?
I know, right? A Sonos speaker.
How have I never seen these?
Sounds like you haven't been shopping at IKEA lately.
Sounds like your next WhichWon video.
Actually,
What's up, Slick Dealers?
today we're doing a WhichWon entirely on Sonos speakers.
Most people are familiar with the standard, if not slightly expensive Sonos line of speakers.
What a lot of people don't realize is that you can get into the Sonos ecosystem for as little as $100 through IKEA.
IKEA has basically a full suite of Wi-Fi speakers they've co-branded with Sonos called Symfonisk? Symfoniks? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, where's Johan when you need him? He's from Sweden.
Oh. Anyways, today we're comparing the Sonos One to IKEA's Sonos line, taking a look at features, design, performance, and price to determine a winner.
And if you happen to make a purchase through any of our links, Slickdeals may receive a small commission. Let's start with price.
This is going to be one of the biggest selling points for the IKEA Symfonisk lineup. You can set these up for a fully immersive sound experience in your home, and most people wouldn't need more than like two. The downside is that a Sonos One costs $219.
The Symfonisk speakers start at $99 for this bookshelf model. Then you have the lamp speaker, which starts at $140, and finally, the picture frame speaker at $199. So all of them are going to be cheaper than the Sonos One, and at the $99 price point, the bookshelf is a steal.
Symfonisk wins on price, and we're done, right? That's all they care about.
No, get back here. We're not finished yet. The next most important category is going to be performance, or how good these things sound. One speaker may cost half the price of another, but if the sound quality is also half as good, you may not want it.
But that's definitely not the case here. Let's start with the Sonos One. I found the sound quality of the One to be the best out of all these speakers we're looking at, but not by much. For example, I like the amount of bass present at neutral sound for the One compared to the other Symfonisk speakers. But with Sonos Companion app, you can adjust bass and treble with a slider for each speaker in your system. And I'd say you could pretty much match the sound on all of these with that slider feature, which is pretty incredible considering this bookshelf speaker costs half what the Sonos One costs.
We aren't sound experts though, so we outsource this to Ratings, which does an incredible job of sound testing on speakers.
Ratings actually rated the Symfonisk bookshelf higher than the Sonos One on sound for music, and basically said both speakers have the same issue with low bass production, and that you might need to boost bass in the app and lower treble, especially for EDM.
I also wanted to note my personal opinion of sound quality specifically between the three Symfonisk models we have. I would say they're all really close, but the bookshelf and picture frame are a tie, while the lamp speaker has the best sound of the three by a slight margin. And that's because the lamp seems to do a little bit better with bass.
So we found the Sonos One to sound a little bit better, but because Rating says the Symfonisk does a better job, we're going to call performance a solid tie, as opposed to a striped or polka dotted tie.
It's a lamp, it's a bookshelf, it's wall art. This is definitely the coolest range of home speakers on the market.
And for a lot of people, they're not even gonna notice that these things are speakers, which is amazing. I mean, when I walked in, I thought they were Pete's roommates. Let's talk about the Sonos One briefly before we keep gushing about the Symfonisk range.
Yeah, the Sonos One comes in a pretty standard rectangular package with rounded edges. You can get it in white or black, and its power cable attaches on the bottom. You'll see the touch controls on top. It's fairly simple. And Sonos sells a lot of different accessories for the Sonos Ones to help you integrate them into your home. But at the end of the day, this is a speaker that looks like a speaker.
The Symfonisk speakers, on the other hand, are speakers that do not look like speakers.
Yeah, they apparently look like roommates.
Even the bookshelf speaker is kind of interesting because you can mount it on your wall to act as a bookshelf itself, or you can just put it on your bookshelf.
And then you have the lamp, which was released with two specific lampshades made for it, but the cheapest one is $29. They are compatible with every lampshade that IKEA sells, so if you're balling on a budget, maybe go with a cheaper option like this one I found in the as-is section for $17.
And finally, the picture frame speaker was released with optional art covers, which cost $20. That's pretty cool that you can have interchangeable wall art that doubles as a speaker. Impress the ladies with your taste in art, followed by your taste in la 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 music.
Impressive. Though the options are definitely limited. You have abstract, what even is this? The Pollock knockoff, or hey, look at me, I like record players, and that's it. One quick note, I would recommend against using the picture frame if you live in an apartment with shared walls, unless, you hate your neighbors, because the sound is going to bleed through.
Great, so if I hate my neighbors,
Definitely get the picture frame.
cool.
Symfonisk wins design.
Let's talk about build quality.
Yeah, you forgot to mention that category earlier.
Pete, you wrote the script, so I don't, whose fault is it?
The Sonos One definitely has superior build quality. It's a steel grille wrapping a pretty solid plastic casing.
Comparatively, the Symfonisk speakers are not as great. They are made of plastic. Build quality isn't bad by any means, but they don't feel quite as premium.
With the exception being the lamp, in my opinion. The lamp is definitely the MVP of the Symfonisk lineup. It's not a steel grille, but this nice matte plastic case and the knitted cover look and feel just as premium, if you ask me. But the Sonos One does win on build quality.
Speaking of knitting, Pete actually knitted me a scarf for an early Christmas present. Thanks, Pete. Features. Features for all of the Sonos devices are going to be comparable. They all have an Ethernet port. They all set up basically the same way.
The app works the same for every device, with bass and treble sliders and this new TruePlay feature that maps the sound profile of the speaker to the room that it's in. The Sonos app has a lot of quirks. Share in the comments if you've had any issues with the Sonos setup. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
The main feature offering that is going to set these apart is the microphone and built-in voice assistant on the Sonos One.
None of the IKEA Symfonisk speakers have a built-in voice assistant or microphone. That means if you want to use them with your smart home, you need to have a separate smart hub device. So you could just get like a Nest Mini or an Echo Dot.
One more iPhone quirk with the Sonos One. Setting it up with a voice assistant requires you to download the Google Assistant and Alexa app. If you're using Google, you also have to download Google Home. So integrating a Sonos One into a Google Smart Home requires 3 apps.
One more big thing often asked about Sonos speakers, you cannot use any of these to play sound from your TV unless you have a Sonos Beam or Arc. Then you can connect them and use them as rear speakers for a surround sound experience. But the Beam and the Arc are both very expensive.
What are we thinking for features?
The Sonos One definitely has the advantage simply because of the built-in microphone and voice assistant. So the One wins features.
So what's the final verdict, Mr. King? What say you about all these speakers? There's so much
The
to...
Symfonisk lineup wins. Rather than getting a Sonos One, I recommend the bookshelf speaker. It's half the price, and then you can buy a separate smart hub for $25 if you want to get your smart home set up.
If money isn't an issue for you, the lamp and picture frame are amazing additions to a smart home that add a bit of home-style flair.
Yeah, not to mention they serve multiple purposes. Light your home, or accent your wall and add sweet, sweet sounds to boot.
The Sonos One is more premium, but we can't justify the $220 price tag when you have these other Sonos speakers that sound just as good for less. Unless you have to have your voice assistant built into your speaker, which might be valid. And in that case, save up for this great, well-built smart speaker.
This has been WhichWon. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful.
And please subscribe to Slickdeals for more product comparisons.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Ben.
See you guys next time.